you would agree with me that we're still dealing with the consequence of that policy, as it's still very difficult to even get cash. And coming in now, even if we have a new CBN governor, is there any possibility of having a better life? Let's call it that. Let me put it that way: a better life, because money is everything. Money answers to a lot of things. This cash scarcity has actually affected people's businesses. It has rendered some people useless, because many laborers don't even have anything to do because they can't access working daily and getting cash. And of course, the POS operators, we don't even want to talk about them today. So, any possibilities of better access to our monies, and how soon, how fast can that happen?
I think that aspect is one of the probably important areas people are looking forward to in Ashuraju's government. Having the president-elect as a financial background, we believe we should have a better understanding of how the economy operates. So we believe he should be able to come up with the right policies in the fiscal aspect and in the monetary aspect to harmonize them and to better the economic life of Nigerians. We believe that the fiscal policies that have not worked for some time now, in terms of, you can see the exchange rates parities, we can see the inflation rate skyrocketing, and just like you just mentioned earlier about the cash crunch. So we believe that coming with monetary policies that would right the wrongs and put us on the path of growth, and also a fiscal policy that will complement the monetary policies to have a better life for Nigeria, reduce the poverty rate, create jobs, reduce employment, is what we look forward to. And we believe that he has the capacity, he has the competence, and he has the resources to deploy around these areas to improve the life of Nigerians economically. So we look forward to it. We look forward to changing, especially the harmonization of the exchange rates. We need to harmonize the exchange rates to have a better exchange rate policies, and to create to erase what we have in the markets about the official and the parallel rates. We also want a consistent fiscal policies from the government. I hope you heard about some few days ago about some policies that has just been published, increments in taxes or some goods and services, and those are things we believe the incoming administration should review and think better the way Nigerians should, that is, which policy is best for Nigerians
to make life easier
and better for us. So we hope that the incoming administration should right the wrongs, correct what is not working, and put us on the path of growth and prosperity.
Okay, so still on the path of project, because of time, we really need to go. But I want you to mention something on the possibility of Asiwaju being the president and the minister of petroleum.
I think it has been the style for a while. But I think attention will shift away from oil. I think why president has been so peculiar about, look, I want to manage this thing, is because it's the cash cow. It's the cash cow. So I think if we have a president who wants to diversify the economy, just like Buhari has done to an extent, we have several items on the list that contribute quite more substantial even than oil to the GDP. Once you do that, the attention will move away from oil to other sectors. And for me, I think the job of the president is enough job. Enough job. A president should be president.
So you shouldn't add so much.
I do not think so. Look at the Minister of Petroleum, the Ministry of Petroleum, for example. If there's a reason why that ministry may appear to have, you know, how much went on strike? How much we queued to get fuel? National Assembly couldn't have summoned the Minister for Petroleum because he's the president. You understand? So let's.
But it's not bigger than the National Assembly. They decide not to.
Well,
it's not bigger than appearing before the National Assembly.
Well, how convenient is it going to be anyway? to invite, when some of our speakers and senators have invited even service chiefs and they didn't appear, how much more the president
or even CBN governor,
even the CBN governor,
and
at some point it was hide and seek and Evans didn't fall. So I think the president has enough job being president. We have enough of 200 million Nigerians. We have enough men to fill in every gap.
And so it doesn't necessarily have to be the president.
I won't advise him to.
But the 10th Assembly, again, let's talk about the 10th Assemblies again. Yes, people have said that it should be zoned. As a matter of fact, a lot of people are thinking southeast, south-south. But even the north is saying that, it's easier for we down south to call the north the north. But when we want to talk about ourselves, remember that we have the southwest, we have the south-south, and we have the southeast. Forgetting that is the same with the north. There is the north central, the north east, and now some part of the north are also insisting that it is deserving for it to be zoned to them because they have not occupied that position before, and it is unfair to call every northern Fulani. Personally, I like Ndume. He's been outspoken, a realist, I must say. In one of his interviews, he was talking about competence over zoning. Do you share his line of thought?
Yeah, for me, everyone who is a returning officer in the National Assembly is deemed competent. How do we judge competent now? If he was competent enough to get the votes of his people back to the house. So as far as National Assembly is concerned, it's more of justice, equity, and fairness, as well as relationship, who could work better with the executive. And for justice, fairness, equity, some people will say southeast. I say, how are you looking at your justice, fairness, and equity? Now, between 1999 to 2007, under President Obasanjo, we had Senate presidents from the southeast, more than 4, about 5. From Kenina Mani, Atoswabara, you get the point? And in form of the party making, as much as we have elections are over, it's time for governance. If the party didn't win an election, there will be nothing to share. So there must be a reward system in such a way that people that risked and then contributed to your victory have that sense of belonging, saying yes, they made the right choice. A Southerner has never been Senate president. It's Southerner has never been Senate president. So I think in that regard, especially when there is a candidate there, a returning officer.
Around the north east, north central, northwest.
Northwest, for example, is also a very important zone that would lay claim to the seats. However, because of our delicate balance of tribe and religion, you are not likely to get a Christian from the northwest. It's not likely. Ali Ndume is a Muslim.
Even from north
and Ali Ndume is from northeast. You are not likely to get a Christian from the northwest. Having had both the number 1 and number 2 from the being Muslims, I think we shouldn't stretch it further.
Okay, what if they choose to be addressed as traditionalists? I think we don't rate that part of the country. I think I am a Christian, but I have a problem with how we just want to box everybody into Muslim ticket, and we see it as a problem. It has to be Christian, Muslim. What do you want? I don't want to call them idol worshippers because they have their God. What do you want to tell somebody that worships Ifa?
I can speak for them, and I would like to speak for them. So they should speak, better for themselves. Saying, look, if you guys have the numbers, it's all about numbers here. That's why we divide it 49% Christians, 51%, or almost equal away. If this census Buhari is planning, if he moves it to the next government, let us make it not Christianity, Islam, others. No, there shouldn't be others there.
Exactly.
Let's indicate, saying indigenous religion. Let them be together. Because even Islam they have sects. Christianity have denominations. So traditionalists should also be just lump them up as one indigenous religion. Let us see how many identify as being, neither Christians nor Muslims.
But away from what we are talking about, trust me, we have many people in the churches and even in the mosques that are more traditionalists than Christians or Muslims, but they would rather want to be tagged a Christian or a Muslim
because of the
what
pattern.
society.
But as we speak now, both religions hold sway. Until when we have, where we can prove that indigenous religious worshippers have the numbers, we have to restrict ourselves to Christianity and Islam. So to that extent, a Christian must be Senate president.
So for you, Dolapo, competence over zoning?
Yeah, for me, I want to see this as an hybrid situation. I believe that competence is important to drive our policies. And also at the same time, fairness and equity. So I would like I think there's all regions, in our country have people that are capable, especially when what Joe said that, all these returning senators, all of them they're competent. So, in the spirit of fairness, to the nation and to other religions, especially, because of the Muslim ticket issue, I think that it would be fair, for a Christian to occupy, that position. Whether it's the southeast or a south or
They can find a Christian in the northeast.
in the northwest. I don't know how realistic that is, but but most importantly, I think that there has to be a balance. Competence must be there. At the same time, you must find a way to bring equity to Nigeria, especially at the point in time where the country is so divided. So I think it's very important for the senators elect, to do to think in that direction and do what is right, not for themselves, but for Nigeria as a whole.
Now, I think there's something that a lot of people are not talking about. How interesting or divided do you think that assembly will be? That assembly, for the first time, we have, I think, we have diversity.
About 7 parties.
Political parties. We have representation from political parties that have never been there. We have people that have emerged that are really young. In fact, we have a lot of first timers in this assembly. And they say, I've never been there, but they always say that experience counts when it comes to making laws. And in one of Ndume's interviews, I recall he mentioned the kind of conversations that are ongoing might be swept under the carpet because the new people that are coming in have to be involved, and it's going to look like they're going to start. So there are no possibilities of continuity when it comes to the conversations that are ongoing now, because most of the people are not returning and they have to start all over again. Is anybody thinking about the dramas that might be happening? I mean, Omagege will carry the maize the other day.
I think we should expect some form of dramas, having different political parties in the both chambers right now, constituting members and all of that. So yes, it has its pros and cons. The pros, more debate for the interest of Nigerians. So whatever bills is coming from the executive, even from their own chamber, has to resonate around political divides, which should be to the common good of all Nigerians. So I expect that to happen, more debates, more robust engagement amongst the lawmakers. Then the second one is what we just pointed out. There are a lot of conversations that will just start from the beginning, which is for us more resources to be deployed again and all. Even the aspect of training the new legislators that are coming in for the first time, it's a whole lot of process, and which might a little bit drag governance down and lawmaking down. So we just hope that they can catch up on time and resume the business of lawmaking.
You see, in addition to what he said, I want to just add that these people were elected, by their people, right? And they are not. They are also experienced people in one form of leadership position or the other, right?
Sorry, I'm sorry to cut you there, but I can't hold this anymore. Some people were elected because